Hi there, Reject Nation. I'm Greg Alba.
I'm John Humphrey.
And I'm Katrina Alicia.
Katrina Alicia is returning with us. This time the three of us are in a video together. Avengers Unite. Speaking of Avengers, we are going to cover a video from one of my personal favorite channels that I actually didn't discover until like 6 months ago, called New Rockstars. They're a fantastic channel. I'm sure you guys have heard of them before. They're doing very well on the internet. And they have a video here called Marvel Phase 4 What's Next Comic-Con 2019 preview. By the way, I'm going to Comic-Con. I'm going to be hosting a panel, so you should come by and say hi. Friday, July 19th, 1:30 p.m. This is a top reward video request from our man Jason Dolan. So you know what, guys? Let's just get right into this, shall we?
Let's do it.
Hi, I'm Eric Voss, and with Avengers Endgame behind us and looking ahead past Spider-Man Far From Home, Marvel fans have now found ourselves in an unfamiliar sensation: uncertainty. What comes next in the MCU is still very much a mystery, and not a fun mystery like Skrull Search or Spidey Duck Hunt. I just feel so helpless. Marvel Studios has announced it will be returning to Hall H at Comic-Con this month, during which Kevin Feige will presumably make a little cameo to announce the Marvel Phase 4 lineup and schedule, just like he did in October 2014, back when we all still believed Feige about that Inhumans movie that never happened. A little oops there. I'm gonna break down what that lineup revealed at Comic-Con might be, and everything we know at this point about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, the most immediate release that we're waiting for information about is Disney's upcoming streaming service, Disney Plus, which will launch on November 12th, 2019. There are currently 5 Marvel-related series that will stream on Disney Plus. Falcon and Winter Soldier will begin production in October 2019 and is set to premiere on the service in August of 2020. It'll star Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, and Cap, or younger alternate reality Caps. There will also be Marvel What If, an anthology series based
That's
on
what I'm most excited for.
That will also come out within the first year of the service, with a pilot episode focusing on what if Peggy Carter received the Super Soldier
Marvel
suit.
streaming
There's
service.
also WandaVision, a series with Scarlet Witch and Vision that'll begin production in fall 2019 as well. And the Loki series was announced, with Rick and Morty writer Mike Waldron to produce, with the premise being Loki affecting events throughout human history. And this will come out in the second year of the service, probably sometime in 2021. Meanwhile, we are still waiting on details for an untitled Hawkeye series that sounds like it'll feature Clint Barton mentoring Kate Bishop. But when it comes to major theatrical releases, the only movie Marvel has in production from what we know is Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson will star as Natasha Romanoff in what will likely be a 2006 prequel in Budapest, co-starring Florence Pugh, probably as rival spy Yelena Belova, as well as Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, Oti Fagbenle. Characters like Hawkeye and Nick Fury could also make cameos. Kate Shortland is directing, and this could be the movie that Marvel planned for its mystery May 2020 release. Originally, that was going to be Guardians Volume 3, but the James Gunn drama delayed that release, so a more likely release date for Black Widow would probably be November 2020. The next movie in the Marvel pipeline is The Eternals. In the Marvel comics, the Eternals were an offshoot of the process that created sentient life on Earth. The Celestials created the Eternals initially to defend Earth, and it led to a war between the Eternals and the Deviants. Angelina Jolie will star as Cersei in a plot that has been described as a love story with the character Icarus, who's going to be played by Richard Madden, aka Rob Stark from Game of Thrones. Also joining the Cersei, Kumail Nanjiani, Ma Dong-seok, and Selma Hayek. Chloe Zhao is directing, and it's speculated that this could release sometime in summer 2021.
Ethnically diverse.
The next movie that we know about is the second Black Panther film. Director Ryan Coogler is returning, and the plan is to start production in late 2019 or early 2020, which could mean a February 2021 release. Remember, in Avengers Endgame, the first characters to portal into that final battle were who? T'Challa, Shuri, and Okoye, so that could be a sign for these characters being the priorities for Marvel's future.
Is that what it means?
We also know that a second Doctor Strange film is in the works. Scott Derrickson will direct once again, and C. Robert Cargill is coming back to work on this script. Production is set to begin in 2020, and this could be another summer 2021 release, or perhaps a November 2021 release. After the first Doctor Strange came out in 2016, Derrickson said that he was interested in Nightmare as a future villain. And if you follow Derrickson on Twitter, which I highly suggested, he's a fascinating follow, he tends to post some cryptic horror influences of his and images from the Doctor Strange comics that could indicate some kind of cosmic horror.
What the hell?
I was like, what the?
Journey into to hell itself. Another Marvel film in
interesting.
the pipeline is Shang-Chi.
That I'm
Justin
excited
David
for.
Cretton directing, and David Callahan writing a script that the goal is to avoid Asian stereotypes that a direct adaptation of the comics might run into. Ludi Lin and Ross Butler are speculated to be considered for the lead role, and production will begin after production for the Eternals wraps. So we might be seeing a Shang-Chi movie dropping sometime early 2022. And that brings us to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, James Gunn has been rehired to direct, but thanks to all that stupid drama last summer, production was delayed to give James Gunn time to direct Suicide Squad 2 for DC, and time for the rest of the cast schedules to line up, since this is very much an ensemble movie and everyone needs to have time to work together. I'm thinking we might be looking at a summer 2022 release for this one. Now, coming out of Endgame, it was suggested that it could be a possible as Guardians of the Galaxy team up with
Not
Thor,
happening.
but James Gunn tweeted to stop calling it as Guardians of the Galaxy, which might mean Thor won't be in this movie, or Gunn just doesn't like puns in the title. Gunn has said that he wants the third movie to focus on the mystery of Rocket's origin, perhaps related to the character of High Evolutionary.
That would be so
And of
much
course,
fun.
after that post-credits scene from Volume 2, Adam Warlock will almost certainly factor into the story. And of course, we know at some point there will be a third Tom Holland Spider-Man film, probably with some home-related title like, I don't know, Can't Go Home Again. We could see that as early as summer 2021, with another 2-year gap considering Far From Home came out 2 years after Homecoming. Now, the post-credits scene for Far From Home indicates a possible direction the third movie could go. Go check out my breakdown of the post-credit scenes for details on that. And similarly, we'll probably get a second Captain Marvel film, which the Far From Home post-credit scenes also might have shed some light on. Again, check out that breakdown. But I'm guessing the second film will introduce the adult Monica Rambeau, aka Spectrum, who was established as a child in the first one. All of this said, Kevin Feige would be nuts if he didn't plan on some major tentpole crossover film, considering Phase 3 included Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. My bet is that we will be seeing an Avengers Secret Invasion announcement, maybe Secret Wars, and/or an introduction of the Fantastic Four. And along with these other titles I've mentioned, there are several Marvel characters that Kevin Feige has brought up as possible future films. This includes Nova, whom Feige has named, and director Adam McKay mentioned as a film being developed. Feige has also mentioned Kamala Khan, who will be the future first Muslim American superhero in the MCU.
Cool.
Legion
Nice.
showrunner Noah Hawley has said that he's written a Doctor Doom script that Marvel Studios is still in discussions with him about. And according to reports, some character in this new Marvel Phase 4 will probably be played by Keanu Reeves. But who? We should launch a new investigation series, Keanu. If you don't love the title, don't bother saying so in the comments because this is already a thing, folks. So what do you think the 2020 Marvel release will be? And what major Avengers tentpole event do you want to happen in Phase 4? Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EABoss, and subscribe to New Rockstars for breakdowns and theories about everything Marvel related. Thank you for joining me, and back with a little cameo. What I say about making fun of me? Feige, not again.
Okay. That's interesting ending.
I get those Feige jokes in there.
Well, guys, make sure to go subscribe to New Rockstars if you haven't already. They're one of the best channels to have ever existed. Yeah, you know, Jason Dolan posed a question to us of wanting us to guess the release date of the films. You know, I'm not even gonna try to do something different than what they post.
Yeah, I was gonna
Guardians 3 first.
First, that's the May 20th.
Then
Number
into humans
one.
right away. Then all the new stuff, and then we're gonna cap it off with the sequels to Doctor Strange and Guardians.
Well,
Done.
the thing with Guardians, what they're talking about the as Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of people have been wanting there to be, you know, Thor to be included in there after what happened in
Yeah.
Endgame. I personally wouldn't want that because I don't think that was part of James Gunn's original script. And if this
Yeah.
is supposed to complete the trilogy of the Guardians, I feel like Thor would ultimately steal the show. That's not to say I wouldn't want a movie with Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxies. I just don't think it should be the closing trilogy chapter.
For them.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the other thing is he could just make an appearance, you know, and then
That's what
not
I'm
be a
hoping
main
for.
Not good enough, Joey.
I mean, you could directly harken back in some kind of fun intro sequence. I mean, like the part 2 intro basically wastes
Yeah.
time being a music video. You could have a Thor cameo if you want
Why
to.
not?
That's true.
It would just be fun to see him in it at least.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would definitely steal the show. It's Thor.
I feel like people would show up for less for the Guardian story, though. Because I like the idea of exploring Rocket's
Rocket,
origin story.
yes.
That's something that we haven't really dived deep into. But I remember from the first Guardians movie when he's giving that speech in the bar, that was one of the moments that actually made me tear up when you're hearing a little bit about his background. And they mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, they really haven't actually explored much of the intricate details of what went on there. And I think that would be a
be a
good
lot of
right
fun.
step for part 3 to conclude everything. For these Disney Plus shows, though, Katrina, which one are you most excited for?
Ooh, Loki.
Oh yeah. The women
Give me
always
more,
choose
Tom
Loki.
Hiddleston.
Everybody loves that
Women always choose Loki.
I stand by my decision.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, all of them for different reasons. But I just always love Loki's mischief and all the shenanigans he gets into. So
It's funny they're getting the Rick and Morty. John, jump in here, would you? Are you a Rick and Morty fan? You watch Rick and Morty?
yeah.
Okay, we'll let you guys handle this. Well, so what do you guys think? I'm working on my moderating skills for Comic-Con. What do you guys think about the thing with having a person who's a producer, creative head on Rick and Morty come over to help helm the new Loki series that deals with time travel?
I highly doubt that expertise will make that much of a difference. I highly doubt that we will see Marvel infused with anything approaching Rick and Morty type humor.
It's very different.
Out there and crass and weird and heavily improvised.
Sure.
But Rick and Morty does get really sci-fi and it does get pretty emotionally intense some of the time. So I feel like, Loki of all the characters to have a Rick and Morty mind on is the
He's
one
the
I would
best
pick.
one.
Yeah, he's the least reverent character.
As crass as Rick and Morty is, it's still a really smart show.
Yeah.
Done very well, written very well. And I feel like that could be taken and put a little bit into Loki.
Excuse me one second. Hey Siri, what does crass mean?
Crass means lacking sensitivity, refinement, or intelligence.
I would say that as crass as Rick and Morty can be, and whatever the hell you said at the end of that sentence. Well,
Round of
also,
applause
yeah.
for Big Al, everyone.
Hey man, keep broadening that vocab, buddy.
Well, the thing with the Disney Plus shows, Bucky and Falcon, that actually sounded more exciting to me before the end of Endgame. Because they announced that before we watched Endgame.
Yeah.
And then Falcon gets the shield, and he's going to be helming the Captain America mantle.
Or is he?
Yeah. First episode starts. Here you go, Buck.
I don't want it.
I don't want to change my mind. Too much
No.
pressure. I felt like, man, you finally get a new guy to be Captain America, a black dude. If it's continuing in that path, it seems like that's the only way it would actually
It would be able
fit
to
in this
go.
whole timeline.
Yeah.
I thought it would be cool. I'm just trying to be woke. He should get his own movie. That's what I'm saying.
Personally, I am most excited for the what ifs, just because that's what I've been praying and hoping for since the big comic book boom of our past decade began. Is like I love those stories often the most because there is a lot of purism in comic book lore. So to get the Marvel characters, it seems like DC's already kind of starting that. To have an anthology environment for Marvel to do that, I think is actually the most exciting to me, more so than any honestly of the movie characters getting shows.
Sure.
All right.
What Endgame proved is taking character, like getting a Professor Hulk in there or getting a Fat Thor in there.
Yeah.
They could really make that work. Say, Katrina, where's my mic? Which character out of the MCU would you like to see a what ifs take on? Man, you really need to take classes at the Groundlings.
Probably Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Probably Spider-Man.
How so? What would be the what if?
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know a whole lot about the what ifs, like that whole side of
Well, that's
the
the
comics.
whole
But like that's
thing.
the whole
You
point
could
of it.
do What if?
What
with
if?
anything
I would want to do the version that's like Cronenberg, where he actually
becomes a
becomes
spider.
like
Becomes
a
something
man
like
spider, yeah.
Ew.
They should do like a Brightburn version of that.
Yeah, where he's like
Yeah.
horrifying but still super.
But still
That's true.
superhero. Yeah.
That's true. So, are you guys excited for the Black Widow movie?
sure.
No.
Well, the problem
It's a little too late to be excited, right?
it's kind of like you said. It's like after Endgame.
It feels It's not that I don't want her story.
It feels weird to do one now. I
But
feel like that was the biggest missed opportunity of the first
Why
three
didn't we
phases,
do
is
that?
It,
Yes.
it feels like too little, too late for the effort. How important it would have been for them to make this.
And there
movie.
seemed to be like the
Yeah.
creatives had to come out and speak about why at the end of Endgame she wasn't really being honored. Even with Spider-Man Far From Home, it's all about Tony Stark, and there's like a mention of Black Widow and Captain America,
Like
but,
a little like.
but there's not even much like honor going towards Black Widow there.
It's all about Tony.
So, it just seems like, okay, yeah, I guess about time. I wonder how well it would do, though. That is one doubt I have, is I wouldn't be fully surprised if it didn't ultimately perform all that well. It would be the first time the MCU is doing a full-on prequel. Like Captain Marvel might take place in an earlier time period, but it's not exactly
not
a
technically a
prequel.
prequel.
This would be their first prequel. Either way, people have been wanting this movie forever, so I'm sure those fans
feel
have
like
been wanting
it's
it.
I just feel like it's delayed. Like
It's super delayed.
just so delayed.
Yeah.
I would have cared a lot more if it came out.
Unless they're going to commit to that and start doing like a bunch of stories from the past featuring characters we know and have these like weird side quest movies or something like that. But I feel like honestly, it would have made more sense to do a Black Widow show. You know?
I would like to see
That would be cool.
I would like to see a what ifs take on Black Panther if he was white.
That would be fascinating.
Fascinating.
Of course, you white people would
found
agree
this,
with me.
This white baby in a basket in Wakanda. You know, get a little Moses allegory going on there.
That'd be great.
We must elevate this special white baby for no good
no
reason.
apparent reason whatsoever.
The Eternals is getting a lot of talk right now for huge Marvel comic readers. I've never read any of the Eternals.
I haven't either.
What gets me excited about the little bit of information I know about, MCU has been pretty clear that they're going to be going a lot more cosmic. The Eternals, though, seems like it'll be more in the direction of what Thor was more established as, and sort of like the gods of the universe. Because, it's like, we have Guardians, we have Captain Marvel, Ragnarok even seemed to shift a little bit away from God's element into like sci-fi cosmic territory, which always has been. The Eternals, I think we could bring it back into expanding upon the gods of the universe type deal, which would excite me.
And going to sort of an epic fantasy vibe instead of, something we're more familiar with. I feel like the Thor movies tried to go to epic fantasy, tried to go to Lord of the Rings, that
but
kind of caliber
quite.
route, but didn't quite find the balance.
No.
So maybe Eternals could do something like that.
And that's with, did they say Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
As
She'll probably have
Cersei?
like a little role. She's probably a really good character, a good person.
Totally. Totally. All people named Cersei.
Are grade A.
I wish that the new phase would start with Black Panther too, honestly. I kind of feel like that would be the most, if there's not time, but that would be the most sensible thing to me, because it's like a beloved character people want to see again. I feel like coming back in with somebody either really new or pretty familiar but pretty fresh would be the way to kick things off.
Doctor Strange, I know you were a big fan of. You're a big fan of Doctor Strange?
I like Doctor Strange, yeah.
See, I like Doctor Strange. I didn't love him, honestly, until Infinity War. That's
The
when
character,
the character.
Because of Infinity War, I'm more excited for Doctor Strange 2 now than as opposed to if it just came after the first one with no Infinity War and Endgame in between. Shang-Chi, that's what I'm very much excited for. A lot of people praise the fight choreography of Black Panther. Iron Fist, yes.
And it was between Ludi Lin and the...
Oh, and Ross Butler from Riverdale.
That's
yeah, wasn't he also in Shazam?
Yeah,
For like
he
2
was
seconds.
part of the
He was
Shazam.
part of the-
Yeah.
yeah, he's part of the Shazam family at the end there.
You guys paying attention.
Ooh.
Weirdly, Shang-Chi is one of the ones I'm most looking forward to out of all this. Again, like the new characters and the new
It's
aesthetics
new. It's something,
are always
yeah,
what get me
like-
most excited.
I don't like the idea of them trying to, dim down Asian stereotypes, though. Considering the fact that I'm Asian, I love when the stereotypes are at play. Mulan is the best animated Disney movie. Fu Manchu, great franchise.
Oh yeah, the original Mandarin.
I was upset that the original Mandarin they changed with the Ben Kingsley version. This is going nowhere.
Asian stereotypes, guys.
Yeah.
Ironic love for Asian stereotypes.
Well, this was great. This was great. Let's wrap this up. This discussion's longer than the video we reacted to. All right. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell to get notified whenever we have a video up. Check out Katrina on social media. She's also part of the Fan Theory. Are you part of the Fan Theory TV?
Fan Theory TV, damn straight.
She is. Jason Dolan, thanks for requesting this, my dude. Katrina, this is a good guy for you to know. He's a screenwriter.
Oh.
Katrina wants to be a successful Oscar-winning actress. So, Jason, if you're looking for some talent, look right here. Jason's also single, but I'm woke, so don't go down that path.
So you could give him advice on how to meet somebody completely different.
Welcome to
Totally.
the real world.
You could platonically interact and respect one another.
You know
I like
what
this
You know
guy.
what to do, Katrina.